one.
They'll even have
So there's at least some information. Soulcast is in a pretty solid position, looking to try and hold the line. First goes his way, second as well for Soulcast. Kicking things off with a bang and looking for a little bit more. He's going to run out of bullets though, but he's bought a lot of time. 17 seconds, making their way to site. Flyers in the way, he got there in the end, and well, the clock is all but gone, and Mini falls as well. Koi,
you don't want to see players going down to these pistols. At least to start, Filu's able to make it out of that initial utility dump. And a good spray through the smoke's going to catch Zipan.
Expectation here for mates is nothing. They've not invested into this round at all, saving purely for the buy round. Filu doesn't have the best position for a Marshall, but I've said that before, and he still managed to get a couple, and then Grabinho is there to clean up the mess.
Going out.
Alpha won't pose that big of a danger. Player in mid-gate crashes out, but
he didn't see the jump.
Not seen Flyer. Huge opportunity, ready and waiting for this push to come through. Let's see if the weaponry disadvantage plays a role. The Bulldogs
30 seconds.
up against the Vandals that are in play on the other side, and they're cutting through them with ease, it seems. The decoy used, but not to great effect. Damage done onto Mini at least, and with man advantage still held, this is going to be a tough site push. Whether they even know the rotations have come through, that there's so many players. Okay, Breach utility goes out, 12 seconds, they've dropped Breach, don't know about Solkas. They found him just in time, the plant will come through, and well, Gentlemate's bailed out of a bad situation because of those picks.
It seemed like that was a really good opportunity. Now Zipan's late lurk leaves it all onto Grabinho. Mitch's favorite gun in hand.
Two of them one shot.
Just like Mitch, this probably isn't going to work.
Well, Grabinho's looking to make it a bit more palatable after the first, but that was Kamek.
Much. Other than maybe A main, you could argue. Flyers off angle here could be a nasty surprise. Not quite connecting the shot though.
There's an opening duel for Click on the attack. Nice to see. Zipan with the trade keeps numbers in their favor. Here comes the Outlaw swinging in, and it's Zipan shutting him down at 2v3. And the defender's off site. A free plant to be attained. From here, is it going to be an aggressive post plan? I'm already looking at Zipan. He's up nice and close, and he has support as well. They go for that deep cat holding it from up top. Goodbye the first blast, at least. He's completely surrounded, no way out. Deep push from Click. It's a risk up against pistols.
Opening kill.
But it's an opening pick, exactly.
Clean
He's
as well.
For the stats. And he's got him held in here. Grabinho eventually falls, and a big play towards the spawn. The rifle on Filu, though, the one that you've got to watch out for, Solkas pops the head of Click.
Called it. Just decided, hold on to the guns. It's a little bit of bonus cash going forward. Maybe if they want to get an operator in. We've already seen them run an outlaw on Grabinho. And hey, Kamek's even going to help.
That salvo combo, but luckily there is that gate crash to fall back to. The util found its way into Filu. It's Click running through an orb. I think he was vulnerable too. Still finds himself the pick.
Grabinho under pressure. Rolling Thunder through as well. I'm surprised they don't do the combination the other way around.
Yeah, together.
Yeah, either at the same time or you Rolling Thunder and then do it behind so that it hits a stun player. But I guess just wanting to make sure the entirety of the site was clear, maybe catch anybody who pushed forward instead. Now they have to deal with the ultimate on the other side, but Mini has just
side and maybe a fight up close. Grabinho falls back. Players are pushing forward, but ults are keeping them back with the Rolling Thunder up into heaven. It was a big...
That stun didn't hit.
We talked about overconfidence. You see the stun not connect. But now 20 seconds as steps are heard in heaven. This is clearly an A committal. Boots on the ground, ready and waiting for the play to come through. It's Grabinho and Flya. Grabinho under pressure again, but look at the amount of backup he has. No way. Being the guy up and around heaven. Salvo sent through. They're down below, though, so safe up top is Grabinho. Solkas, the challenge on his hands, and he delivers! Steps up to the plate for a double. Chance now for a little bit more with the reposition of Filu. The operator, though, two players swinging him quickly. No, in fact, they're separated, and the gate crash to just get out of there. A valuable pick. Now double the numbers and an idea of where the spike was heading. So Filu sticks around, sights on that choke point. And an easy trade-off.
Easy spot for Canada to try and fight back from. 30 seconds. He can now teleport into the B site, which is the plan.
Grabinho's close.
He's got to be very careful. Steps will be heard. He's going to try and bait Grabinho into the fire, and Grabinho just goes swinging. That's not worked out at all. Turning it into a 1 versus 2, but that time really is low. 14 seconds. Needs to get the plant in. Flyer is nearby, but I'm hoping won't make the same mistakes as a teammate once did. He does give the 1v1 duel, but this time lands the shot.
Yeah, I think Kata had to make a more aggressive play there. The 2v1, they can easily play off each other. You've got the op coming back through and Filu with an ult to try to find. But it's time to take space for Gentlemates. But look at Solkas, he's crept his way through. Somehow doesn't connect the kill. Zipan survives and Mini punishes before it gets out of hand. The re-peek from Shados. It is
Let's go for 3.
1v1 battles. One by one they're peeking, one by one they're falling, and coming down ramp. It looks like the same thing. Grabinho miles ahead, and he'll lose the fight. No trade possible. Down, Click's got a lot of space towards heaven. He's hearing them run down bottom mid, and that's the. Oh well, Kamek's got to get his weapon out very soon. That's a bit of a mistake. Kata's already passed it. They're looking to get aggressive in heaven. Movistar MKOI have a setup for it though. Paranoia is good. No way out for Click. He's caught, but Kata swings through. Almost catches Grabinho through the smoke. That's a good return. Numbers back to equal footing, but Filu with the op. He's got a good position. He's got cover from Grabinho as well, and the ult's going to be used just to spot out these final players.
He's using it to retreat, but he's kind of left Grabinho behind. He'll at least keep that man advantage going, and more importantly, the space that has been guarded. Mini, though, from above, we know how deadly this guy can be. A quick double, and even spots out Filu. This guy's crosshair placement. It kind of maybe seems that maybe communication was off a little bit.
And Grabinho's coming in like, I've got your back. I'll be there with you. Wait, where are you? Where'd you go? Well, Movistar MKOI pushing mid for themselves. The walk into side is risky. No one's spotting it, but there's a breach just there, just seeing them. Oh no, the utility came out from Shados. That is a disaster. They have just contacted into the A site, and Movistar MKOI took heaven control, fought down to ramp, but it's almost worse for Filu. He's surrounded now. Players can come from both sides. He finds one, but it's traded out. Click grabs one on site, and it's a 3v1. Early aggression was great, Tom, but that gap that they left on A so quickly exploited by Gentlemates. I'm at a loss for words on that. You can have a
that's what I mean. I feel like it must then be miscommunication that he thinks the guy heaven is watching to call for a stun, and then he's the same the other way around.
That's disastrous.
Well, not gone to plan, but they have got the opening pick in this round. Filu, he gets one on one side, he gets one on the other. He's literally got a kill on each extremity. That's the duelist you want, the quick switch-ups. And what, the TP? Oh, got worried for a second, but this time the sight hold from Shados has worked out. And that is the spike in the corner of the site.
It was an audacious play, but Kata probably assumed that Shados would have a stun out the whole time. So, fair enough. He found out that he's found his #1 on the keyboard, his primary equip. Final round, so ults are going to be thrown at this, and a decent read of where Mini might be. On the step forward, he knows that's a clone behind him, finds the first, fly it down. Rolling Thunder, though, that's going to end the round, surely. Shados hot on his tail, and will land himself in nothing.
They're gonna lose. There you go.
They're going to be the ones that give the rounds away, is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
All right, okay. Well, starting out, Click, opening duels tracker, not looking good. Down through the spawn. So that's going to be for the later stage. It's Filu with the challenge up close, and the Classics doing decent damage, but he got there ahead of the Paranoia. The players keen to take that fight, but look at the flank. Finally coming through. They forgot about him, and they certainly shouldn't have. Flyer with the triple, and the round quickly falls.
It's going to be cleared out, but there is currently a smoke down. That's going to get pushed completely. The Flyer already managing an opener. Now, there really isn't much to play with. Zipan's going to try and take the angle. His teammate was just in, but he's been ruined as well. And what started as a stack now becomes just 2 players with Classics. It seems like not much being invested whatsoever. And while Mini will at least do it for the bundle.
Yeah, and it's key how quickly Movistar MKOI make that read, right? They're not flooding into a lot of presence taken for free. And this is because Zipan is waiting for the push up, but the drone spots him, but dealing with him seems to be another thing entirely. Filu at least able to shut him down. The flash well placed, but Click right on his case. Returned by Flyer though, and this is getting very scary for Gentlemates. Not only the players they've lost, but weapons potentially retrieved.
Yeah, there's the upgrade, but just before, Kamik will be able to try and just sell the ruse, try and keep all eyes in this direction. And, well, they've used the Aftershock to clear him, but then they haven't kept an eye on the spot. That's given a free battle for him to find on the other side. And they still have absolutely no idea what one of the players is. That's Grabinho. But now he has to try and make a move. Smoke onto the spike. Spam coming in. He's walked into the spam. That's definitely a problem. A mistake for the side of mates. And just on the other side, they've got dancing around each other. Grabinho just for the mud fight so that he leaves again. Oh. Well, there goes Felu.
Oh,
and the second Kada's managed to fight two with a ghost.
Two players TPing in?
30 seconds left.
Against, they know it's a low buy, right? They do know that.
They just have a decent idea. He's now got a rifle as well. He was the weaker weaponry, and it's a chance for Kada. He comes out with 4. I have a feeling this almost telegraphs itself as a bit of an A hit.
Okay, Zipan, good for 1. That stun is perfect, but unfortunately there was a second player there.
HP.
Grabinho bought extra shields, I guess. Don't know how he survived that onslaught. Kamik, it's an easy fight onto Felu. No one's there to follow him up either. They're so fragmented in the push out. Grabinho, 5 HP, but he'll survive with Kamik falling. Mini has the angle. Almost had the pick. It's Click to find that, but an immediate response that leaves Mini alone. He can isolate a fight on site, and he knows it, but he also knows the other player is going to be quick to run to his aid. And that leads to another isolated duel with the plant now coming in. That's going to put him in a box. Mini knows exactly where Shados is. Shados had a tough game so far. I love this, just hiding, waiting for his timing. He spotted him and he'll eliminate him with ease. Gentlemates, they fell behind, but they are right back into the lead. Movistar Koi stalling out, and that's a big investment as well, Tom. Their economy put into that round. It's going to leave them in an awkward spot as their opponents onto a site, Viper's Pit, to secure that late, to get that plant into a much more comfortable position. And they are putting pressure on A. All right, Flya, calm down. Kada's gone pushing. Kada's got his back to a player, and they've just seen it. Felu's got a freebie out of that.
I love the gate crash. It was almost like a bait, like,
he would have seen that go by and say, where's that coming from? Oh, goodness.
Kamik's responded once again. Puts
the rolling
back
thunder
into a 3v3. Oh, the cage fight continues.
He solo ulted them with the rolling thunder to get 1 pick, but at least it's Flya.
Well, it slowed them down.
It slowed them down and got rid of the pit as well. That's something to write home about. Nice repeat from Kamik. He's got 3.
Okay.
He's got 4, in fact, and I think Mini's going to steal away the ace. This is the moment we truly get to see what kind of teammates you've got. Click, going into the angle. He'll see him, and he calls it for Kamik. Beautiful teamwork.
Lovely. Let him pour him round for Kamik. And
but again, let's look at what's... Oh, I like this old committal. Fly is not safe, not by any means. And with Click coming through the smoke, there's no escape. Movistar Koi only sent him to A, though. It's going to be the push towards the B site from the majority of the members in a deep play. Coming in from Felu with the dimensional drift, but Click does the same. He's going to grab information now. Planter spotted, no one else. Where are they? They could be a main, but is the read there? Then it's a deep push into the spawn. Rolling Thunder! It's a huge mistake! Click flying under the radar! He's picked up 4! And although he'll be denied the ace, that's another big individual round from Gentlemates.
he died because the rolling thunder pushed him into the air.
Yep.
That's so funny. I don't think I've ever... Because if he just sits in the corner, he's fine.
Ran into it.
That is...
Your Tejo. I think here the stun sent through, but the ult is that little bit late. It's given space. In fact, it's given fake information. Koi thought they were safe to take that fight, to TP deep into sight. Not only was Kamik there, but the ult left that little gap for the run through coming in from Zipan. Now they've shut down a few players and good space taken by the attackers, but where do they take it in the end? Where do they head towards? Because there's re-aggression from Kamik, and he's catching them coming back out of heaven. Luckily, Solkus is repositioned, has caught him off. Now,
It's Kada's turn.
Snuck into this little corner.
left.
4 players on their way. They've seen him right
Never
away.
mind.
Beautiful clearance by Solkus, and much needed. It is one of the conversations
And
we've had.
floor. I'll take floor as well. I think this sounds like a fair team, honestly. I think
sound-
balance. Balance.
Okay. Once I get to decide your last 2 players, I think that's fair.
Necessarily needing to be changed for them to fix things going into the next season. Felu taking on, that's the second
Grabinho.
time. Grabinho is just getting wrecked every time he tries to TP. While this B site take, yeah, it's been messy. It's been very messy.
You can look at it one of two ways, though. Like, the last time, his Yoru had been decimated by his own flash on backside. So there was... I think it's the right call here. They've embedded one player, getting past that one-way smoke that Kata put down. They know that's going to be more passively held. They need space elsewhere, and that's a lot of damage done. Actually, Fly a little more healthy than I expected.
Yeah.
That pick could still be used. Kata, though, is on him, looking for one and only finding it. Zipan now on the site. So many times they've gone in here assuming the space to be free, but now they fight for it.
Contact. A player up in heaven. Soulcast's spot, one needing to be cleared, and
Nice.
more than ready for that swing to come through. At least a little bit of extra information for Mini, but it's not going to be happening. Solid hold.
They've tried to force the issue on that ramp push, but there's no one there. Instead, the push is coming on the other side. A great fake by Movistar Koi. They get space, they drop Kata. Keep going, keep going.
Well, no need for a nice trade. They haven't lost any players yet. There we go. And there's a nice trade. Wonderful stuff. Rubinho.
Nice.
Another. Stepping up massively. And well, all tempted fake, and it has somewhat worked. Rotation coming in over onto that A side of the map as they still look pretty committed over on B.
Oh, Mini stopping them in their tracks. OT being contested late into the game. Flya looked like he pulled it back, but Kamek's on site to close it out.
Luck of Kata and Mini. Eventually we'll see the salvos go through, try and force them into awkward positions, and just fully flooding back in towards the site. The battles, at least initially, are going the way of Koi. Another pistol will go under their belt. 3 for 3. That percentage is improving at least.
It's going up slowly but surely indeed, and a big round from Solkas. Tempered aggression.
Easy for Soulcast.
It did.
Casual.
Thinking mates just gave it to him. They're reading the script. Oh, nice shot right off rip. That was a sniper for Mini. A chance to do damage with the Marshall, but it's fought by a Marshall of their own. And a lot of snipers invested into it. You see the Outlaw there. We've seen the Marshall as well. It's an interesting buy, and it's one that they will feel the damage as it's done. Kata, okay, they're pushing him now. This is a risky maneuver, but it looks like it'll pay off. He's looking the wrong way.
Yeah.
Free as can be.
Do you know what the other problem is?
What's that?
He wasn't using the jet. You have that sort of same advantage of, okay, you get the extra shield, you can take that extra space, but then you don't get that elevation that you're almost using it to fight against. Filu's aggression in this round has only been met with the lurk of Kata.
Toxins going up.
Very patient, passive round. I like this from mates. Like, you know you're up against a weaker purchase, you know the damage you did in the previous round, and well, at least for now, Flyer. Oh, okay. A cheeky double. 2 for the price of 1. May still need a little bit more, but has actually bought time for the rest of the players to get into the back of the site. Soulcast here alongside him.
30 seconds left.
Kata still the furthest forward, but they need to get this extra space into the site. Mini's done well, and now Soulcast almost has to just fade away, not to give away an extra pick.
Still a fantastic early setup, even equalizing those numbers, but the aggression of Shados. And Tom, again, there's no one with them, but they're trying to run the clock down because Salvos can now stop that plant again. 7 seconds, plant needed, and there's a swing coming through, but it's too little, too late. Click's already put Spike on the floor, but numbers even. Wrap around is perfect, and they stepped into Mini's crosshair.
Neck didn't. Maybe a little bit nervous at this stage. Shadows kind of having to hold on to more ground than he would have liked. His teammate so incredibly deep, but 2 players winning their battles at exactly the same time. Still plenty of time to play with, but getting out of here definitely not going to be easy. Needs to fight forward, and Shados wins both battles, leaving it all on to Mini. But with 30 seconds, low HP, and 4 more to find, that's going to be a round for Movistar Koi.
That's an excellent to bring them into the open. And at no point, even if Gentlemates want to go back, want to take it in a different direction, they have to fight their way out. Grabinho with an immediate opening pick, and Flya with another. Well, the early aggression working wonderfully across the map. That's an A and B pickup. And deep B main control, full control over middle with the Killjoy utility, and that leaves the guys on A with just one angle to worry about.
Yeah, I think the main goal for Mates was sort of a set play, utilizing a Guardian that was purchased for Click. He was going to dash over the top and hopefully find a blinded player, but they were not blind. Come on. Unless we're going to see some more Sheriff magic, I think this should be a relatively easy cleanup. They could immediately throw one in. And in fact, the second's going to go there as well. Viper's Pit. Oh, no, never mind. Viper's Pit not onto the spike. Taken down before it could reach. Convergence path still available. That was slow-mo. Anybody that taps that spike, escaping for Soulcast, not going to be easy, but he's going to the corner. Not really anybody to actually capitalize off the back of the kills. The Viper screen has saved them, and these ults are just not going particularly well. The only thing is they are buying a hefty amount of time. That clock's starting to tick, but it's all left on to one, and Mini will get nothing. That was, what, every single ult? No, because I think the huge credit to Grabinho just for the usage of his wall. Like, just putting that back and going, okay, yeah, we're slow, but you can't get to us. Come on, speak of the devil. He's going to get the opening pick onto Click.
All season. And it's not just down to the scoreline, it's more so the promise. Everything's working out. They just dealt with a round of 4 ults with barely breaking a sweat. We see them peak together, and that's just another example of what was missing before, even at the end. Sulcus and Shade.
Definitely some questions surrounding their map pool.
Initial fight for Click doesn't send him back safely. He's a little in the open with the refract and caught and punished. 11 HP on Kata after that duel, so a 2v4 and an ult online, sure. But the spike lost and they have to push into heavy traffic. Gonna be caught by the headlights. Grabinho's 3rd of the round and almost got a 4th out of it.
Any of their previous matches, I don't know if we've seen everyone online for this team ever.
No, there always seems to be a missing piece of the puzzle. Philo, that's wonderful.
Okay.
A recovery on a...
And then the tuck spot, they immediately put the salvos in. So it just wastes a ridiculous amount of time for this attack side. Kamek, though, Mini, they both fight aggressively. It's going to be left all onto Grabinho. A second round looking likely, and it will be
up that a mid-split that they're off to. Already 2 players making their way through with that orb. A big fight for Sulcus. He lands the first, not aware of the second, and his teammate isn't either. Shot in the back. The stun, good. Mini tries to get there first, but Kamek's rounding the corner and cleaning it up.
Sacrifices had to be made. Fortunately, they haven't been made for much of a reason, it seems. Flash through, but Grabinho still landing the shot. Shados 1 away from having that lockdown, and timing here is going to be everything. Click is watching the angle, but it somehow doesn't manage to get a kill there. It looked like that dink was almost in the open, but it doesn't seem to matter. Lockdown available, but where to use it? Oh, irrelevant. As already Shados has hit the deck, and Kamek, well, that's back-to-back. Securing Kata is on a very, very late lurk. This time alone could be enough to close out the round. They're trying to get in their face. They're trying to get in front. As Kata has come from behind about 3. He's doing absolutely everything for the squad as Click looks to clean up the final pieces. For them, first time for Movistar Koi was a Viper wall. Second time was a Giga lurk coming out. This time though, Kamek, Click combining once again. Kamek's been fantastic, but he will fall. A chance for a 5th round, which honestly, from where they were at, 7-1 down, that's not bad.
It's the fact they send salvos in to push those players into the open, but then lose the fights. And now late round, Viper's Pit's online, securing the spike. Snakebite was sent deep as well, buying them that little bit more time, but the wrap around the left is causing issues. Bladestorm looking to dive in and pick up that Viper, drop the pit, but Viper's further back. They'll have to get through Mini and Zipan first. The gap watched on the left, Zipan up close and ready for the duel. And it's Filu with it all to do. Running right into Kata, who previously was deep in the choke point.
So that's at least been one of the major positives in this matchup. A chance with them already in the lead and heading into the attack side. And well, Kata's been wrecked by salvos alone. That is not a bad start. In fact, Kamek is desperately low as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage done in that initial engagement. 3 players spotted outside of B, one of them already dealt with. I mean, the real question though is, Mini, you're fragging IGL, no utility to work off of. Can he shut this push down? And he's done well to find the first and get out scot-free.
Oh, didn't get much further though. A nice shot from Filu. Kamek 1 shot to the pistol. Click needing to have a hero-like performance. Be a lot to ask for him, right? Not going to get anything for it. Last man, incredibly low, and an easy cleanup for KOI. They're converting that pistol.
I've been known to. Cat has snuck up to yellow, but they're going to expect this position. Indeed they do. Swinging in, taking him down. Mini's got a double with a classic on range. Zipman's got one more. This is already costly. Kamek won't last long in that situation, but 3 pick.
You have to bear in mind, they have been 2-0'd in every single series so far in stage 1. A map victory.
Difficult to deal with for Gentlemates, having to push all the way back. And they're using utility to clear yellow. There's no one there. Fly a little ahead of the curve on that swing. He gets punished for it. But now a big trade out should come through. It's Filu with a double and a 3v2 on the back of it. Snakebite sent in. Zipman tanking it to get it to half, but they go wide into the angle to make sure.
Map number 2. And then lost. But we'll get to that when we get to map 3.
Saying history's going to repeat itself?
Who knows? We'll have to wait and see on that one. Thing will be pride. You don't want to be breaking records that nobody else wants. For example, like losing the longest overtime in history. That one for Foot must have been a bit rough yesterday.
Especially against BBL.
Yeah, that context makes it
A
worse.
sprinkle on top. For mates, this isn't a round that we're going to put a lot of stock in. They've got pistols. A lot of weaknesses. And even if they had numbers on the site dealing with Movistar KOI in this form, they're moving together. They've got the weaponry advantage. The only player really isolated is Flya. A few times he likes to get... Oh, he's looked the wrong way. Got worried about the player coming from mid. But still, that pickup, it's not going to get them the round. But it does get Kata a rifle. Whether he decides to save this or try to make it even more costly. Really already secured. Post plant now for Movistar KOI. Hunter's Fury post plant as well. This is powerful. In fact, it's sent deep towards the spawn. An aggressive play, but they've given up on it halfway through. Divided, and they've been conquered. A 2v3 that they're left in. Grabinho in a nasty position, and Flya drawing the rise, telling them, come on in, push me down. And as the wall falls, Grabinho stands to take one, buying that little bit more time. The stun catching him just about, and Zipman's gonna get it to half. But he's gonna try to stick it all the way. It's a big mistake. Grabinho hot on his tail through that mid push that could be in play. That's why they made that initial aggression on A. Now, they'll commit to it that little bit more, but Filu, he doesn't find the welcoming party he was hoping for. They'll grab an orb, send it back in the other direction, but again, there's been no overreaction from Gentlemates.
The attack decided to pause. Mini will get one and well, almost the 12 seconds left as they look to try and hightail it in. If he gets rid of the player planting, it could all be over, but he gets executed by Soulcast, has to plant a little bit more risky. Kamek just with one of the deadliest for the convergence path, but he's still seen nothing. He has no idea. He has no idea how far they've gone. An oversight, especially as the solo B defender. Sure, the rotations will come in thick and fast, and with a lockdown and a null command, they have a lot for this post.
There must have been a call to have Click close by the A site. Lockdown goes into play. 30 seconds left.
They have one of their own.
Gonna put a counter one in, hopefully to free up that space, but the players can still keep a bit of control. Where's Kata going? He's walkabouts. Oh! They expected it somehow? Okay, 14 seconds and the plant's gonna come through. No way to deny that, it's nice and safe. And with that, the map is over.
Side. They're now going to go running in from behind. Now, there is a cam there. If that cam gets popped, that is all the information. And Flyer's Lurk has already picked off the one other avenue that they will have had.
There's the cam.
Cam popped. Will eventually be destroyed, but that should be every single player being spotted. Filu picking up another. Leaving 3 players to try and run through a smoke on a ramp. Mitch loves some controller assists, and there's high potential for them here.
Absolutely are, but Grabinho's taking matters into his own hands. Finding himself the double. And
Mates classic, so it doesn't count.
Exactly. Not gonna add that one up to the tally. A little bit of aggression.
Be right back.
Tiny bit of damage. Realistically.
Bye-bye.
Not expecting a lot from these classics.
Going for the one-tap classic.
Isolated. And he's gotten a decent bit done there. Shados down to 28. Solka's tagged from the earlier fight. Corbinho's arm has been stripped.
Mini's the one to watch. Ah, that could be a problem. Let's see, he still wins just a straight 1v1. I think that was the one pistol player, but even still. And now you got the crossfire, Kamek with another. It's always, I said it, two people. The Doc's position.
Yeah, well, he wanted to play up in tower, but the molly that was sent in pushes him back, and that's why they take tower control themselves.
Ooh.
Looking to pressure Mini, and he'll eventually fall. Damage done on site. Movistar Koi getting ahead in some of these duels. There's upgrades to be found as well, and making the best of a bad situation. The spam even lights Kata to 38 HP. He is clinging on to life with both hands. It's going to be an aggressive peek from Shados. He knew that Zipam was there, and that Click was there too. But they're not able to convert the picks, leaving Solkas all alone. So he's got the perfect utility for this play. Salvos to buy a little bit of time, but he wants a pick as they cross. If salvos of their own that are sent into relatively the right spot, but he's got an angle behind. Buying time. They'll get it to half first, though. That's the problem with Click's head removed. It's only one left standing. Low HP on tip. Off your feet.
Ah. Well, he has gone flying higher than anyone seen before, and he ends up going down to the salvo. Unfortunate. Kamek does well.
Through smoke.
They do have themselves, well, now an extra pick, and they've got the army. Yeah, I was about to say, is that going to be thrown into play? It is, and that's enough to displace Soulcast from position. A solid spot from Flyer, but he's only going to get one. And after all of that in the last round,
opportunity to pick up one or two. The cage has robbed him of that. And look, they even burned their showstopper here, assuming that there'll be players closer. Kamek manages to stop them. Rolling Thunder was online already, and it'll be deployed right after these salvos. Stun already gone. So in terms of the and indeed Aftershock, this is great. They're burning up utility very early on. An off pick, and they might not need that Rolling Thunder. In fact, it won't be available because Kamek's lost his head. But as said, everything else is going right. It's going their way. Flya struggling, and he won't land those shots. Corbinho has to pick up all the pieces, and a damn good try of it. But Gentlemates get there in the end with the defuse.
Yeah, this round honestly just looked like an incredible read from the side of Gentlemates. They saw the showstopper. They went.
The other fight onto Mini could have changed the game. Mini took the ult orb from the defuse, interestingly, instead of giving it to Kata for the orbital strike. So they'll have the opportunity to pick up some.
The plan is to have those sort of walk downs from Click and just basically take those aggressive fights with the operator. Now Flyer has got way too much space. A little bit of an
walk out, and maybe they can even get a plant out of this situation. If they do, Solkas, massive utility. Oh my, they've taken Kata. The op up close. Solkas, yeah, I think he was spotted. It looks like Click's aware. He's coming in, but it's a stinger on the other side. He had to hit his shot, and he does right away with the connection. And there's the ult for Mini. Good thing he had that online. Information falling into their hands. Great stun. Filu in trouble. Salvos, and he's being watched by three. They know exactly where Shados is too. No utility to help him out, and an op holding the angle. There was no way back in. Gentlemates, back up neck and neck.
Yeah, nice round from Click. I think very aware of every sort of risk. Wasn't overzealous in the round, especially versus the pistols, consistently waiting for there to be a...
out of these situations and losing out in the post plant. Big ultimates online, Corbinho and Solkas. So it's not like you want them to have that plant, and Click can't keep getting...
Oh, very far back into safe position. So I think that's where the value's coming. Kata, he's got to get something from this, and he doesn't. That was one real danger of this round. Rolling Thunder, well, it's been saved for quite a few rounds. I can only assume we're getting that same retake.
Ready?
And actually, no, they're going to try and deny it before they plant, but they failed at that.
Yeah, because Click can dash in past the molly, but now able to convert on one. Player's in main. He's turned his back, but he swings back in just in time. Ult going to be sent through deep. Flya suspected in the corner, but Kamek can't deal with him. Player's thinning out, and it's only Click left. He can put pressure on, maybe even get this defuse halfway. But he wants to get ahead of the issue, wants to force the fight, knowing that the orbital strike is on its way. Half HP because of that laser, and now Corbinho's ready to swing in from main. Halfway, he won't even get there. Movistar Koi putting an end. Movistar Koi They're not out of the woods just yet. Gentlemates still able to fully invest. Clicks op will still be in play. And Mini is running around causing havoc with a Vandal. He's even going aggressive for more, and it could be a mistake that cost them dearly. Kata stepping up to the plate for two. It's Shados on his own. A double kill needed to close out this round. A plant still to be secured and an op on its way, but he gets ahead of him. Had the angle, but Click swings.
I guess maybe wary that that was a position on the map they lost, and now they're going to go pushing into it. This seems like a complete misread on the scenario. Well, I say that, but they clearly thought somebody was there. But then when the ult didn't connect, they continue that push forward. Even still, the crossfire will seemingly be enough. Grubinho's done well, though. With the ult from Soulcast still online, with a rifle retrieved in his hands. The only problem is he has to cross to the site, which is, well, pretty unfortunate from where the positions of his opponents currently are. Well, Zipan makes that pick a little bit too easy. Okay, eventually. I was a bit worried they weren't going to check. I was nervous.
We have ran into it for Click. He's not afraid to go back. Posting up early round now using the refract. One and done. He is out of there. 5v4. Movistar Koi, they go looking in the other direction, but look at this double push up as well. Kata alongside Zipan, and they get there just in time to catch Grubinho. Now you're going to make that push without your duelist and without your smokes.
Getting into this angle is difficult. They try the jump across, which will at least get them in towards the tower, although info is definitely there. All 5 players rotating through the spawn, and they just cannot get past this operator. Click has been a menace in this map. He's had some rougher performances this season on the duelist, but he has been terrifying. A close angle held, but Flyer only going to get the one, and for Soulcast at this stage, the only real hope is damage.
30 seconds left.
Flyer got into that position really quickly. I thought there was a chance that he could fly under the radar, make it costly, but
Fly under
the radar. But he doesn't. They still clear it, even though he gets one pick. Fire.
I can only assume that the ult is coming. It doesn't matter. It's Click again. This guy really doesn't feel like he's been missing. He'll be able to bypass the ult. In fact, his teammate will as well. Flyer and Shados combine, but a lot of damage being done, and Kata coming in from behind will get both. It is just a field day with Soulcast trying to ruin the parade, and he's doing a damn good job of it. One left standing, it's that operator again. And
the reposition at Click, I think he's won every fight up here in heaven. And he's cleared it out, holding the rope. You're about to walk right into his waiting arms.
Bilu's got to be so salty. Oh, no. Well, he eventually falls. Not enough bullets left.
To heads, but he's 0 and 5 in opening duels, and I think at least 3 of those must be the op. It could even be 4. Position spotted. Salvos on their way, but Mini seemingly under no threat.
Enemy remaining.
Keeps control, hat off his head, and it's not in respect. It's to close it out.
Here we go. HUD's decided. Make a resurgence already, though. That's going to be Soulcast getting the opener. They need to keep that pistol streak going. 5 for 5 so far in the series, but a post plant to face off against Click. Looking to get aggressive, doesn't have the refract, doesn't have anything to play with. In fact, other than the pistol in his hands, his position will be known. His utility was non-existent, and he's still going strong. One of the best performances we've seen from him individually, but he is going to get flanked on. Filu finally dealing with his demons. But Mini might just be the voice in the back of his head. It's gonna, well, it should have been the bullet in the back of his head. Instead, it will be a little bit whiffy.
Wow. It couldn't have ended any other way, Tom. Movistar. Follow up from the pistol. You said it before, Tom. It's always been 2 players left alive for Movistar Koi. A little miss from Click. He's slow to follow up, and Grubinho's picking them apart. Much healthier looking round from Movistar Koi. Doesn't get much worse with that. Only the one pick.
There you go.
Mini's got one. He's gone to the frenzy, though. That could be a big mistake.
Seemingly more important, looking to just break the trend of how many players are left standing, and they will. It's going to be 3 to survive this time out. A slight
noise heard on south side. They go pushing into north, and Mini's under pressure. He's being hunted down. No way out. And a free pick, really, for Grubinho.
But he'll be able to dance his way through the smokes. And actually, if they reposition towards the spawn, they could actually make it to the B side. There is still a player there, and well, with the casualties alone, that might make it just that little bit more difficult.
Work with. We don't want to see him going swinging out wide. In fact, even conceding the plant. And from this point, you might assume that he's just not on site. Maybe he's somewhere else. Having rotated to A, just left the cam behind, but now they've realized their mistake. And it's Click in a 1v4 to defend that spike. It's planted for him at least, but it's not an easy fight. They've seen him. They'll swing together and close this one out. Movistar MKOI climbing back, rising up to the challenge. Now 1 round behind Gentlemates and hungry the right side of the map. They're not playing deep into angles, so they won't be fully caught off by these players. The dash in, spotted, Filu ready. Well, I'm not sure what Kamek thought was happening there, but he did not have the free space he thought he did. Swing out from Filu, doesn't get there, but it's a 2v4 that he's left his teammates in. Easily secured by the rest of the squad, and that is the roll in there.
If we just saw the map collapse, just like the full north side of the map.
Tech, Flyer.
This is a nasty position. And he's coming by 3 for it. The IGL finally adding the fragging as well. 4 for him. Kata, last man standing. Well, 1v5 ace needed. He got the first.
Damn solid performance from Flyer. Orb taken, spam is good though, and Kata will be dropped in. How far ahead of the play they are. Movistar MKOI with a big opportunity. Orbital strike put in. It forces the dash out of Click. He's wide on site with no one to help him out. Zolkas ends up going down. Nade and a salvo good as Kata falls and numbers thinning. Gentlemates being left in the dust. Rolling Thunder put through, but Mini doesn't want to swing. He's 45 HP, waits for them, but Flyer ducks under his shot. Utility, but still a flash on Shados. Where does that get thrown? Backside or into main? In fact, it's the jump peek across. It's risky. It's giving him a chance. The spam puts pressure on, but Shados is defusing and he's going to stick it all the way. The spam doesn't get him. Shados saves the play.
Far forward, these players are actually pushing. Click wanting to get all the way towards their spawn. And he hasn't checked the corner. He's not cleared it properly. Luckily, the trade is almost immediate. But as they look to go even further forward, it's another drop. The salvos take down Zipan, and all that is left is Kamek. Another.
As you said, a chance point, but I think for these players, they just don't want to end the stage without a single win on the board. Dash in from Click, caught by Flyer. He's been phenomenal so far. Finally put to bed, but Filu and Corbino quickly filling in the space. Spike is theirs, and it looks like another round for Movistar MKOI. After a pause from Gentlemates, they get nothing.
That's crazy as well, because that position has been consistently played by Soulcast, so I think him being able to get away with that is very surprising. Well, okay. A 1v1 for Zipan. He'll take fights like that all day long. The nade will do a little bit of extra chip damage.
There.
You do have to be careful. Salvos forcing them out. Another fight taken, but then the swing comes in from behind. Soulcast alongside.
Between them, 4 chances to close us out, and a weak investment from mates. They've decided to go together to A main.
They're trying to pick up the pace, but instead they've been met by the operator. They've been expecting, after struggling on this site for a couple of rounds, that their opponents will make a misread, make a response in the other direction. Solid flash will make it a little bit tougher. Soulcast on the site can only garner the 1. With Shados desperately low, he will also fall. His spot has been held by Filu, but he can't do too much about it. They're aggressing forward. Flyer, this battle may end up being everything. Instead, it's going to be the switch up, an attempt to get to the site, and it's actually Mini to get that kill. Available, and it actually would connect, but you can see the adjustment. No, I really like this. Movistar MKOI saw that ultimate come online and then immediately moved. Click has now gone down. He has been struggling in this second half after a stellar first half. And Kata trying to fill in the gaps. He's just gone in alone.
But Flyer's not taking the bait. Showstopper's on its way to back him up. 12 seconds left. He just has to delay, and he won't take Zipan. In fact, Kamek is stepping up for a triple. Gentlemates have the Showstopper to contend with. The nade in, the time low, the spray. Good for Filu and Movistar MKOI. At long last, they've taken a series. 13-9, 13-6 at the buzzer. They've done